Inside DICE's Swedish headquarters, the greatest brains in games have been labouring for years to work out how to bring you Mirror's Edge. They held a gun to our head, so we'd film them explaining it.
Hi, my name is Henrik Johansson and I work here at DICE EA in Stockholm, and what I'm going to show you is some of the movement obstacles and stuff we create in the levels to enable all the cool moves you can do in Mirror's Edge. So here we're trying to get over to this roof. We have a path here that the beginners can take, jumping off this ramp and getting over this big fall here. But we want to create something more interesting, so we're going to do something we call a springboard jump, which is where the player actually uses 2 steps, like a small stair, and then he can use that to jump higher and longer. So first we have to finish the pipe, and I have the last section here. And then in order to actually be able to use this for doing a springboard move, we actually have to add some invisible collision boxes around these types of objects. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to place this around the object and then scale it so that it fits. So we want to add the second one on the railing here, like that. And that's basically it. The finished can look like this. So it's basically like 2 steps here that you can use to get over to the next roof. So here we have the finished result. So I'm going to show you the beginner route first here using the ramp, but that doesn't get us quite all the way across. So it's better to use the springboard that we just built, which I'm going to show you now. There we go. So what I just showed you was how we actually go and build a level, add the different objects, and then add movement to those objects to enable all the cool moves that you can do in Mirror's Edge that you usually can't do in other games.
Well, I obviously think that music and sound effects are very, very important. The audio for Mirror's Edge is built on many parts. For the character sounds, it's of course for each material. For each move, you need a different sound. And that pretty soon become a large number as it multiplies. Then it's also based on the levels. For each level you need to have a different mood. And if you go underground, you have completely different sounds than you have on top of the roofs. If he does a jump and a perfect landing, you will hear that it sounds different from a not so good landing. Or even falling to death, which sounds completely different. I don't really want people to say that the game sounds great. I want them to feel that the game is great. But if we can help build that feeling, I think we have done what we should do.
Get out of their face.
The combat in Mirror's Edge is really, again, about taking this very athletic woman, but not a superhero, and kind of doing the combat from that point of view. If you're going to take somebody down, take them down as quickly as possible so that their friends can't come and get you at the same time. It's really about kind of using your movement to get yourself into an advantageous situation. Isolate one person, take them out. If you get their weapon off of them, use it as a tool as quickly as possible and then discard it and move along.
Take those snipers out or keep out of their way. Just get your ass through there.
Most of the combat is executed by using one shoulder button.
So all of your attacks, if you're holding a gun, this is shoot. If you're not, this is your attack button, which is punches, for example. And that's context-based as well. So if I'm sliding, she's going to kick. If I'm jumping, she's going to do a flying kick. Jump, attack, again. Now that move is based on your momentum as well. So the faster I'm traveling when I execute that, the more power it's going to get. You can see I just took him down quickly from the front. Oh, okay, got the timing bad. She's used a little quick, pressing the attack button quickly, she'll do a little sort of 3-punch combination attack there. That works in. with the disarm move, which we find on the triangle. Circle around, see if I can hunt down this enemy and disarm him from the front. So you can see there's a short, oh, okay, and there we go. There's a brief window in his frontal melee attack that will allow me to kick the weapon out of his hands and disable him.
Another form of attack is to use the reaction time, a Matrix-style slowdown used for added control.
I'm going to use my reaction time to make sure I can pull this move off. So if I wall run and I use the attack button, you can see I can kick, and then I get an easy disarm from behind. So when it comes to the weaponry in the game, I mean, there are actually quite a lot of firearms. It just comes down to whether the player wants to actually use them or not. And then again, we're seeing combat as more of a choice here. You can see these guys over here. I think we can just go. And of course, this is, whoa, okay. This is a choice.
Another choice is to avoid the enemy altogether. There will be an added reward for completing the game without engaging any foe.
It is possible to do it with avoiding them as well, but generally speaking, you're going to need to be quite familiar with the geometry and the area, or you're going to have to be kind of eagle-eyed to figure out where you're going. I think generally speaking, what we've seen when people have been playing through the game is that they've sort of quite naturally come into conflicts and confrontation with the enemies when they've reached the areas.